Hi everyone, I'm Cheryl and welcome to the Sewing Room channel, and this is your tip of the week. I'm going to go over the different methods for doing applique. Applique is taking one piece of fabric that's cut into any shape you want and attached to another piece of fabric, and you have choices of doing decorative stitching around the edges. So let me show you some of the methods that I've been doing a lot of, and then I'm going to show you one I haven't demonstrated before. This is probably the easiest method, and I recommend this for those who are beginners just getting into doing applique projects. So what you want to do is draw your shape on the back side of your fabric, and then take another piece of fabric and attach it together to where you have front sides, or the pretty sides of your fabrics together. Then you would stitch right on your drawn line all the way around. If you have any curves on it like this has, you would take your scissors and do little tiny clips all around the edges. Then you would separate the two pieces of fabric, the front and back, take your scissors and cut a hole in it. Then, after the hole is cut, go ahead and turn it front side out. Then after you've turned it front side out, you want to reach in and push against the edges, pushing out so that they look nice and smooth. And then you would take something somewhat pointed and try to push this point out. It's not always going to be a perfect point. Then you would take this and put it on your background fabric. So I placed my hearts on this round table topper. So you place it where you want it to go. The side that has the hole in it is the side that goes against your background fabric, so you can't see it. Then you would just pin it down, and then you could either do a simple straight stitch close to the edge all the way around, or a zigzag stitch, or if you have decorative applique stitches on your sewing machine, you could do that. The link to this round table topper, if you're interested in it, will be listed below in the description section. Just scroll down, click on Show More or the down arrow, and you will see the link appear. This next method I'm going to go over is using fusible web. And what it is, it's sheets of paper that looks like this. I've already cut something out. It has grid lines on one side and plain paper on the other side. And in between the two layers is a thin layer of glue. Now this is a lightweight, this is Steam-A-Seam, and this is a heavier weight. So you draw your design on the blue grid line side, and then you want to cut out about 1/4 inch all the way around. To remove this blue grid line paper, take a straight pin and just tear the paper. You score it a little bit, and then bend it till an edge comes up, and then you would remove it. Then you would place it on top of your background fabric, on the pretty side of your background fabric. Place a damp cloth over it, and using a hot iron with steam, you would hold it in place anywhere from 10 to 15 seconds. All of these instructions are listed on the package. Then you would decide what kind of stitching you would like to do. Because the raw edges are showing, I recommend that you either do a close length of your zigzag stitch, or select an applique stitch that's on your sewing machine. If you don't know if you have applique stitches, always check your user's manual for your machine to see which one those are. Now, which one should you use, the lightweight or the heavyweight? It really just depends on what you're making. Most of the time I do this, but every now and then I will make something that I really only want to use the lightweight. This method I'm about to show you is the first way I started doing applique, but I haven't used this method for over 20 years. But it is very appealing to certain individuals who like to do hand applique stitches in which the stitches are hidden. This freezer paper is Reynolds wrap, and on one side it's paper on the other side is a thin layer of wax. You could maybe use that piece of paper maybe twice, but mostly it's only going to be able to be used once. There is a quilter's grade of freezer paper. So it's got paper on one side and a really thick layer of wax. You can probably use it anywhere from 6 to 8 times. I'm going to demonstrate how to do a leaf. So you would draw your leaf shape on the paper side of the freezer paper. If you need to have multiple leaves of the same size, you could layer your pieces of paper, put a whole bunch of them together, staple them together, and then cut right on your drawn lines. Then just remove the staples when you're done. And this is a real time saver by cutting them all out at one time. Here is my quilting fabric. This is the pretty side, front side, right side. There's many ways to call this. You want to put it on the back side with the wax side down against your back side of the fabric. Then you would take a hot iron, and you only need to hold it on there a couple of seconds, and it is glued on. Then you would cut around it about 1/4 of an inch out from the edge of the paper. Because this has a point on it, you want to go out 1/4 of an inch from the point out this way and cut it off. I know it looks blunt right now. And because this is a curved edge, you may want to go and clip. I would not clip all the way up to the edge. You don't want any little fraying or raw edges showing. So you could do that on the 2 curved edges. Before you press the edges, you want to press it with some starch, and this is Best Press. You can get this on the internet, and you can also get it at Joann Fabrics and Crafts. So you just spray a light coating around it. At your corners, you want to press them over first at each end. Then you would take your iron, and if you have a small iron, it's going to be a lot easier to do. And then you would fold the corner over like this, and that's how you can get a nice sharp point. So you would do that at both ends, and then continue to fold it over and press. If you have a specific design that you're doing, you may want to take your leaf shape and go ahead and trace around where you want all of those leaves to go. You can glue them down if you like. You don't have to, but here's a couple of options for gluing. This is a fabric glue stick, and this is a liquid glue called Fabric Fuse. Before you put it down on your background fabric, go ahead and pull the paper out. Then if you're going to use glue, you can either use the glue stick and go around the edges, or you can take this glue here and just do little dots all the way around. And then you would go ahead and place it where you want it to be. If you choose to do this method, you may want to invest in a small iron like this. There's even some that are smaller. I got this at Walmart. It's called Steam Fast, and so it's going to be really easy to press around those edges because it's not a great big clunky iron. Now, what are the advantages of this? It depends on you. If you love hand stitching and you want to use a hidden applique stitch, then this is a great method, because if you try to use the fusible web and get that same look, it's not going to happen. You can do the invisible hand stitch on the first method I showed you, but you still may not get the edges just the way you want it to be. So it really depends on you and what you like. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and that you learned something new. If you're interested in applique projects that look something like this, I have a lot of them. So please check below your YouTube screen for a playlist that you'll see for a variety of applique projects. Now, don't forget to follow me on Instagram and check out my Facebook page. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time, and happy sewing. If you like the Sewing Room channel, one of the best ways to show your support is to subscribe by clicking on that red subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. And don't forget to click on share to share this video with your friends. And make sure you click on the bell so you'll receive notifications for all my new videos. I'm Cheryl, this is Manny, and this is Scotty. See you next time.